the 21st of March, 1913, Volume 11. The will of the soul abandoned to the divine will is opium for Jesus. Through abandonment, she becomes like another humanity of Jesus. When earthly things render the air of the soul unbreathable, Jesus sends her the winds of adversity. Continuing in my usual state, I was telling sweet Jesus to condescend to let me share in his pains. He told me, "My daughter, my will is the opium of the soul. My opium is the will of the soul abandoned in my will, united to pure love. This opium, which the soul gives to me, makes the thorns lose their capacity to prick me, the nails to pierce me, the wounds to give me pain. It soothes and puts everything to sleep. Therefore, if you have given me opium, how can you want me to let you share in my pains? If I don't have them for myself, neither do I have them for you." And I, Jesus, how good you are to come up with this. It seems that you want to make fun of me, coming up with these terms so as not to make me content. And he, no, it's true. It is really like this. I need a lot of opium, and I want you completely abandoned in me so that you will no longer feel yourself. And so I will tell you that you are my soul, my flesh, my bones. During these times, I need plenty of opium because if I wake up, I will pour down a deluge of chastisements. And he disappeared. He came back after a little while and added, "My daughter, how many times it happens to the souls, the same as it happens in the air. The air is fattened by the stench which emanates from the earth, and one feels such a thick, heavy, oppressive, and nauseating air. The winds are necessary in order to cleanse it. Then, after the air has been purified, the finest breeze blows, such that one would remain with his mouth open in order to breathe that purified air. All this happens in the souls. Many times satisfaction, self-esteem, ego, and all that is human fatten the air of the soul. And I'm forced to send to this soul the wind of coldness, the wind of temptation, of aridity, of slander, so that these winds may cleanse the air of this soul, purify her, and bring her back to her nothingness. Nothingness opens the door to the all, to God, and the all makes many fragrant breezes blow, so that the soul with her mouth open may swallow that air, remaining sanctified by it. End of the reading. The 21st of March, 1914, Volume 19. Jesus cannot contain himself from manifesting, though little by little, his love, graces, and goods, which he gives to the souls who do his will. He does not exaggerate. Jesus continues, "My daughter, I love one who does my will so much that I cannot manifest everything to her or everything all at once, of how much I love her, the grace with which I keep enriching her, the beauty with which I keep embellishing her, and of all the goods with which I fill her. If I manifested this altogether, the soul would die of joy. Her heart would burst in such a way that she could no longer live on earth, but in a flash would take off toward heaven. However, I feel an irresistible need to make myself known, as well as my love for her. It is too hard to love, to do good, without making oneself known. I feel as if my heart were dying and unable to resist so much love. I keep manifesting to her, little by little, how I love her and all the gifts with which I continue to fill her. And when the soul feels as if filled to the brim, to the extent of no longer being able to contain them, in one of these manifestations of mine, she will disappear from the earth and will bloom within the womb of the Eternal One. And I, Jesus, my life, it seems to me that you exaggerate a little bit. in manifesting to me what extent a soul can reach who does your will. Knowing my ignorance and smiling, Jesus told me, "No, no, my beloved, I do not exaggerate. One who exaggerates may be deceitful. Your Jesus doesn't know how to deceive you. Rather, what I have told you is nothing. You will receive more surprises when once the prison of your body is broken and you are swimming inside my womb. The extent that my will made you reach will be openly revealed to you." End of the reading. The 21st of March, 1922, Volume 14. The double seal of the fiat in all created things. Continuing in my usual state, I was thinking over the holy divine volition, and my always adorable Jesus clasped me in his arms, and as he sighed intensely, I felt his breath descend deep into my heart. Then he told me, "Daughter of my will, my omnipotent breath gives you the life of my will. In fact, for one who does my will administers to her its breath as life, and as it breathes upon her, it moves away from her all that does not belong to me, and she breathes nothing but the air of my will. And just as the air is inhaled and exhaled, the same for the soul. It is continuous receiving of myself and of giving of herself to me at each breath. My will hovers over all creation. There is nothing in which my volition does not have its seal. As I pronounced the fiat in creating things, my will took dominion over them and became life and preservation of all things. Now this will of mine wants all things to be enclosed within itself, in order to receive the return for its own noble and divine acts. He wants to see the air, the wind, the fragrance, the light of its volition hover over all human acts, in such a way that as its acts hover together with those of the creatures, they may fuse together and form one single thing. This alone was the purpose of creation, that the emanations of the world be continuous. I want it, I demand it, I await it. This is why I am in such a haste that my will, its value, and its effects become known, so that as the souls who live in my will do their acts, through their continuous emanations in my will, they will diffuse them over everything, like air, and their acts will multiply in all the human acts, investing and covering everything as acts of my will. Then will I obtain the purpose of creation. My will rest in them and will form the new generation, and all things will have the double seal of my will, the fiat of creation and the echo of my fiat in the creatures. End of the reading. There are no more readings today.